Given the age of his mother, the Queen, the coronation of King Charles III has been planned in meticulous detail for years under the code name Operation Golden Orb. We do know that the palace wants it to be a joyous celebration, and so will give the nation time to mourn. Queen Elizabeth II wasn't crowned until 16 months after the death of her father, King George VI. Coronations have historically taken place more than a year after monarchs succeed to the throne. Edward VII's ceremony was 18 months after he officially became king, and George V's coronation took 13 months of planning. Like Queen Elizabeth, the king will wear St Edward's crown, more than 2 kilos of 22-carat gold set with 444 precious and semi-precious stones, carrying a price tag of a whopping £3.6 million. The ceremony will likely take place at London's Westminster Abbey, where Charles will become the 40th monarch to be crowned in a 1,000-year line of kings and queens, dating back to William the Conqueror in 1066. But we should expect some clear differences too. It's been reported that the king will have a shorter, smaller and less expensive coronation due to the cost of living crisis affecting the British public. But his coronation will retain the pomp and ceremony that people expect from a major royal event.
A service that looks towards the future while being rooted in long-standing traditions and pageantry. That's how Buckingham Palace has described the plans for King Charles's Coronation Weekend. From the 6th to the 8th of May, Britain will come to a standstill to celebrate the crowning of a new monarch. The last time that happened was in 1953. Queen Elizabeth's coronation ceremony lasted 3 hours, but in revealing plans for the occasion this time around, the palace has said the celebrations will reflect the monarch's role today. Britain is amidst a cost of living crisis at the moment, and some reports have claimed the king is keen to reflect this by toning down the celebration somewhat. Reports say his coronation ceremony will last just over an hour. However, there's still plenty in store. On Saturday the 6th, the coronation service will take place at Westminster Abbey. In the morning, the king and the queen consort will travel in a procession from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Abbey in what's been labelled as the King's Procession. After a solemn religious service, their Majesties will return to Buckingham Palace in a larger ceremonial procession called the Coronation Procession. They'll be joined by other members of the royal family, although there's no word yet on whether that invite extends to the Sussexes or the Duke of York. On Sunday the 7th, celebrations will move to Windsor Castle, where a special Coronation Concert will take place. The palace says it'll bring global music icons and contemporary stars together, but the full lineup will be released in due course. Members of the public will be invited to participate in what's been called the Coronation Big Lunch. Street parties have become a staple of royal events in the UK, and the King's coronation is set to be no different. On Monday the 8th, the King will encourage people to spend the day volunteering. Monday will be a bank holiday, and the public are being urged to support their local community in what's been called the Big Help Out. Its aim is to highlight the positive impact volunteering can have on communities across the UK. Furthermore, the government has already launched a consultation over plans to relax licensing rules over the weekend, meaning pubs could stay open until 1 a.m. At 74 years old, King Charles was the oldest person to ever accede to the British throne, but a weekend 74 years in the making could set to be worth the wait.